Yeah, this on here right quick talking about uh the game between the Cowboys and the Vikings. And I mean it definitely ain't play out the way I thought it was. I thought it was gonna be definitely way more closer and shit like that. And I thought it was gonna be like a nice back and forth, kinda like what they did last week versus Buffalo and the week before versus Washington. But Vikings, maybe because of them two emotional wins, they ain't had nothing in the tank. As soon as Cousins fumbled the ball in that first quarter, it was like that was a wrap. And they just lit their ass up like royally. I mean, total yards for the game, Minnesota offense. I get Dallas defense is like that, but you only had 183 yards total. That means like you was dominating this shit. 183 to 458. They both had 10 drives. So Minnesota had 10 drives, only had 183. They ain't do shit. They only had 54 total plays, third downs, one of 11. So they was just three and outs all night. Dallas was 12 of 17, a monster ass day on third down. Uh per play, yards per play, they had Dallas had 6.5, Vikings 3.4. So we saw they defense was pissed, felt that they broke a streak that they had with, they was up by 14 and something. Like I think Dallas never gave up a lead like that. And so the fact that they know the Packers ain't shit, right? And so they was like they came out with something to prove and shit. They had what else to do? Time possession, 37 minutes. So that's damn near 40 minutes to 22. So, you ain't fuck with the Cowboys on no shit like that. Um, yeah, Vikings, Cousins only had 105 yards. And that's like way like just one of these nights where you just say, all right, damn, that shit was just some straight crap. Cook only had 72 yards on 11 carries, 73 as a team. And Jefferson, he only had 33 yards and shit like that. So it's really nothing positive they could take from the game. They didn't even sack Dak not one time. They only had one QB hit. So, and just imagine they only had one QB hit and only sacked Dak one. Let me see. They sacked Dak no times, even though the Cowboys was on the field more. And they didn't generate no pressure. Nobody was covering shit. It was just an embarrassment. Like one of the worst games of the season by a top tier team. And so you slide over to Dak and them. They offense. Dak was 22 or 25, 276, two touchdowns, 139 rating. Uh, without question, his best game of the season, and in the past two seasons, going back only to that game he had versus Tampa Bay at the beginning of last year. You know what I'm saying? This was like one of his, like, yeah, he was damn near perfect. Running game, Pollard, he doing this thing. You know what I'm saying? The man on the screen just killing it on the passing and receiving and running. He had 15 carries for 80 yards. And then he also chimed in with six catches, 109 yards with that 68 yarder that, was that long. He caught six targets. Well, he had six targets, caught six, and had two touchdowns. That 68 yarder, basically just bust the game open in the third quarter. So it was like Lamb, he ain't do shit, but they ain't even need him. He only had 45 yards. They still haven't really gotten a game from Schultz to where, like, maybe he's still working back, but I thought he would be playing harder since this like his contract year. But maybe these back half of the year they'll start involving him more. But they ain't really need that. It was just about the man on the screen right there. He kind of just put his imprint on the game and shit like that. Like I said, he he not solid enough like Elliott as far as an every down back, but he's a great ass switcher pace back for sure. Cause he got the burst that Zeke used to have and shit. Sacking, they was on fucking Cousins' neck, man. Had 7 sacks. Parsons had 2 with 5 QB hits. Curse had 1. Armstrong had 2. And Fowler had 1, and DeMarcus Lawrence had 1. So you had all they dudes that they kind of need on a given day. They pass rushes to get sacks and QB hits, and they all contributed to the dub yesterday. They ain't getting no interceptions, but shit, your boy, even if he threw the ball, he was, he was incomplete, or you know what I'm saying, he was getting sacked. So it's just a brutal ass whooping. That's what we witnessed yesterday. They told us it was the game of the week, but it was a couple of other games that was more entertaining than that shit. That was just, like I said, Minnesota. I hope they don't do no crazy shit like they jump out. I mean, the only other team that did that was, I think, Arizona. The 2 seasons prior, they had jumped out in their division, and they ended up losing it to like other people in the division. Like, what, 2 years ago was, what I want to say, the Seahawks, right? 2 years ago was Seahawks, and last year they lost it. They lost it to the Rams. So I hope Minnesota don't do no shit, because they do got the talent, the personnel, and the coaching to make a serious run. Because the NFC gonna be so much inexperience, the people that's gonna make it. You feel me? The only person, if Brady and them make it, he gonna be the only one that has experience, as well as if San Fran make it, Jimmy Garoppolo. So Jimmy G and Tom Brady, the only one. All the other people is gonna be kind of inexperienced as far as the playoff. If Minnesota make it, that's Kirk Cousins. If Philly make it, that's Jalen Hurts. If damn, I missed somebody. Giants, I mean, I don't think the Giants make, but if the Giants make it, they got Daniel Jones, and if Seattle make it, that's Geno Smith. You know what I'm saying? So, all those guys are so inexperienced. Depending on who Dak and Dallas draw, this might be their best year to make a push, like a far push. Just gonna be depending on quarterback versus quarterback. Now the other factors might play a part on whether the win happens or the loss happens. But just if we go quarterback, you should like their chances versus the rest of the field in the NFC. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, aside from Brady and shit like that, that's the only one that you. But then shit, Jimmy G and them got him last year. But aside from them two, you gonna like your chance versus all the rest and whatnot. So, that's just my thoughts on it. Just like I said, annihilation. One of their best games. I don't know if they're gonna have a better game this season, but definitely against one of the best teams in the NFC and in the NFL. You just gotta say, yeah, that was a hell of a job they did. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it. All right, thanks for listening.